Well, get Kevin in frame because the girls love Kevin.
Well, hopefully there's enough room with us here. I don't want to squeeze it.
Well, between my ego and
well, in my head.
yeah.
My head.
Well, I just want to say, like, I was looking through your bios, and I'm going like, oh my God, this is just like my childhood and everything. And like, oh, you voice all these, characters that I've seen. How do you guys, keep it fresh because like your audience are, younger people. How do you, keep going? Do you research? Do you read, or on these characters that you're playing?
In my case, I'm Rob, by the way.
Yes.
I think.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Rob.
Hey, how's
Nice
it
to
going?
meet
How
you.
are
It's a
you? I'm
pleasure.
CeeLo.
CeeLo. Really? Hi, David Carradine. Oh no, that's right. I'm dead.
Oh no.
Okay,
Let me get
so
this rope around.
yeah, we got to go down that road. Well, like what we just did here. The fact is that the people with whom we work
Yes.
on a regular basis, Ricky, are, in my estimation, the most talented, fearless, competent, and joyful people to be around. So if you're lucky enough to work regularly,
Yes.
it sort of takes care of itself. And by that I mean that when you work with people like Kevin or Tom Kenny or
Rob.
thank you, or Tress McNeil or Tara Strong or great anybody, any of these people who the audience would know, they keep the bar so high, and we have this friendly competition at work. Because we spend more time literally cracking each other up than working sometimes, and Kevin is one of the biggest offenders. But what that does,
Look who's talking.
what it does though, is it's right though, it keeps the bar really high because Kevin has a pretty sophisticated theater background in college and all that. My background is music and improv, and I am inspired by these people. So it's not like, so we work on, I work on things at home just because it's fun for me. But when we get to work, it's,
Of each other.
yeah, we work of each other, it is, right?
Right, absolutely. It does. That was pretty interesting what you said about setting the bar because, there's an energy that happens. It's much different atmosphere from when you're alone in a booth,
Totally.
compared to when you're with the cast in the booth. And when, like you said, with these guys, with Sean or Seth Green and Greg Sipes, something happens.
That's exactly right.
And the goofing off and having fun, we channel all that energy into the microphone with the script. There's an energy that happens that's lifted up, which really carries it. So it feels fresh basically all the time, especially when we see each other on a weekly basis, like from time to time. Every time it's new, it feels new. There's nothing really. It's almost effortless.
Yeah, it is.
Really to record.
And everybody wants to be there.
Yes.
And so I think the greatest thing that I love about all these people with whom we work is for me it's easy to keep it fresh because I would choose to be nowhere else. So I go to work every day and get paid to do what used to get me in high school in trouble. And I work with people who are my personal friends, people whom I choose to be with. So it's like you're getting paid to go to a big party. And like Kevin said, the energy that is created as a result of all these people on both sides of the glass being together, even if it's stuff that's a little blue, it may not end up in the show, but the energy that's created absolutely lifts it up. It's always
It
preferable
remains
to
from
be
the
with.
moment,
Yeah.
and it just carries through.
Do the writers actually inject a little bit of your personality
sure.
into your characters somehow, or
believe
you
it.
made a request like I think I want, or improv?
Oh yeah, and that's I think what we were talking about. We can't help it. We improvise. Again, whether it ends up in the show is really not the issue. It's that it raises the level of performance,
Right.
and
Rob is phenomenal at improv. He has his podcast that he does at the improv, and he's got a natural talent. Whether we make up a song like that on the dime, or anything like that, and we just
Kevin does a little bit of that too.
Yeah, but you don't want to hear my lyrics.
Yeah.
But at least not without a lot of bleeps.
Oh man, huge fun though.
So it just keeps it alive, like you said, and the writers really have a huge part in just keeping the story
Absolutely.
going and keeping it alive for the audience. So you never see what's coming. They throw curveballs. They go left, right, up. You have no idea where they're going to go, and that keeps us on our toes. And I think the improv level is more increased with the Turtles.
Yeah.
Because they really are a tight family, and they really focus on that, for the viewer. And these guys, they're great
Well,
to watch.
it's
They're great to watch.
and you mentioned Ciro and Brandon, you know, the guys running the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
They are not only turtle, they're fans. You know, they're
Yeah.
deeply involved in the whole turtle mystique, as it were. And so they keep it fresh. The scripts are always really sharp, and frankly, I find it easier to sort of improvise in the context of a good script rather than one that's weak. Because good scripts, the shows that we've had the good fortune of working on, when the scripts read funny or read, if it's an intense show, it reads really deep and stuff. I find it easier to get into a really complete character than something where it goes, wow, this story just doesn't get there. Because I'm not a writer, I'm just an actor.
Okay.
And I'm inspired by good writing, and we've got plenty of it on this show.
Right, and it helps us to really get in
Yeah.
there. It's like taking a big, juicy bite of a steak.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it gets your acting chops and you're really working it, really acting. And
Totally.
Andre Romano.
Yeah,
who
she's our
doesn't-
director,
Doesn't,
yeah.
you know, pull back and
No.
doesn't hold punches. She really helps you, you know, guide us, you know,
Okay.
for what specific sounds they need or, you know, or phrases. And she's very good at that with us. We know her for long enough
time, yeah.
where she knows our personalities and knows our skills and knows how to guide us and direct us in the right direction for what they're looking for, what you, the viewer, are looking for.
Right.
You know, and stuff. And if we don't have fun recording it, or even if it's a serious moment, you're not going to have fun in listening to it as much. Maybe you would, but we want to give you the most we can possibly give you
Totally.
to help you enjoy this.
Well, we respect the I mean, this is my second ride in the Turtle Van, man. This franchise is crazy successful, and you know you
Just
wouldn't.
his underwear. I mean, you have no idea. I mean, look at it. I mean, you get,
Most people already have.
yeah, I mean,
But
wait, what?
you went to the party, dude. Yeah, he's got X-ray eyes. But the fact is, we wouldn't be here talking to you, Ricky, for season 4 or 5 or whatever this is. The audience is so sophisticated and has such a high level of regard for this particular franchise that this thing would have been dead in the water in
They
season 1.
recognize you though,
Yeah.
the fans.
Right.
When you're walking around.
Well, a little bit now, but
Okay,
the point is that the characters are famous. You know,
Okay.
we're good at what we do, but we get it. I don't draw them, I don't write them. However, if this franchise, if Ciro and Brandon were not doing their job, we wouldn't be here talking about season 4 or 5. We'd have been done after 1 because the audience would have said, bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we get it, and we know it's because of Brandon and Ciro and the folks at Nick who have given them the juice to do it. It's a big
up the
deal.
bar.
Oh my God! And it continues to. And the people your age, what is so great, is that a lot of folks in their late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, were reserving judgment about that show. Like you'd say, I don't know, man. Ninja
Because he was
Turtles.
part of the original cast.
Yeah,
The first
and
animated
I
version,
heard a lot.
you
My
know.
son is 31. He was one of the ones
Oh,
that said,
my
you know, well,
goodness,
Dad, you know,
Ashen
I'll see, you know, I'll let you know how I think.
believe
And
that.
they watched, and the ultimate compliment is to get people your age who say, holy, this is great.
Amazing.
They get it. And so that is Brandon and Ciro.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Although I do have one question for you.
Sure.
You are the voice of villain, of evil. What is this?
Listen to that set of pipes.
You know, I don't know what to say, man. You know,
It's like I was going like, oh, okay, Morgan Freeman, voice of God.
you can, well, I don't know. You can take,
Yeah, but
you
he's
can take the
also-
man out of prison, you know. I don't,
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
it's also Cleveland Jr. on the Cleveland Show.
Yeah.
And
So
that's not an evil guy.
No. He's quite different. But, you know, it's just, I guess, something I fell into. But it is good to play the variety of the good guys with the bad guys, you know. So I enjoy mostly the good guys. But it can be fun to play some of the bad guys, too, you know. So I just got very lucky. Very lucky to have worked.
It's lucky at the
to play these
beginning.
guys.
It's not lucky to sustain it.
No, yeah,
Kevin
I always
is a
say-
remarkably gifted man, and we are all so fortunate to be in this position. But every day I work with people like Kevin and others who, you know, there's that old adage about, and it's true too, Ricky. It is luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. And you can get a couple of shots, and I worked with Kevin at the very beginning of his career, and he could have gotten 1 or 2 shots, but if he wasn't as capable as he was and is, you don't get
I'll
lucky
never
for
forget that.
you don't get lucky for 20 years.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you get lucky once or twice, but the competition is so intense and so deep, and there are new people like Eric Bauza,
Who's a phenomenal
really
talent.
wonderful,
Yeah,
talented,
amazing talent,
people
Just
coming
got nominated, I believe.
for an Emmy.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Puss in Boots.
Puss
I
in
think.
Boots. Yeah,
Right, and he's
new talent coming in all the time.
Yeah.
So to maintain a career when you get in your 40s, 50s, 60s, in Frank Welker's case, he's 70. Peter Cullen is over 70. That is not an accident. That's as a result of their talent and their constant drive to get better. So, you know, we're fortunate. I hesitate to say lucky because he's not
I
lucky.
was
No
very,
luck.
one of my very first early gigs was the Mask.
The Mask, yeah.
With where I believe I met you, I think, or it could have
think
been
it
something
was.
before. I have not.
It was probably the
Pretty
Mask.
sure it was the
Yeah.
Mask. And I remember sitting
Mid
next.
early 90s, mid 90s.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it was that with Ginny McSwain?
Yeah.
Possibly. And I remember sitting next to Rob, and I was very green and very new. And I got to tell you, man, I remember looking at him going.
What's the matter with that white
No,
guy?
I remember looking at him going, "Ooh, holy, who is this guy? He's amazing." I was very nervous, very scared. I mean, and it worked out. They liked what I did,
Sure.
but it was just so phenomenal to watch, you know, this man work. And I just realized I was in a completely bigger pond, you know, and I had a lot to learn, and I learned a lot from working with him.
Oh, it's a mutual admiration society.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Ricky. What a pleasure meeting you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ricky.
Thanks for
Thank you, my
taking the
man.
time. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, buddy.